Today we are focusing on our heart chakra. Heart chakra is the center of love and compassion. And we want to always be working with love. There is a lot of fear around, and the opposite emotion to fear is love. It's not even courage, although the word croire, which is heart, French, they still use it. So maybe for today, just have a think about what you stand for, what love means, who can you send love and courage. We just focus on that opening of the heart chakra, Anahathasana chakra. Put an intention for your practice today. Inhale, start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Roll your head side to side, bringing your head back to center. Bring your legs together and stretch your arms over your head, full body stretch. And release. Bring your knees towards your chest. Hug your knees. And rock side to side, releasing any tension in your lower back. Bring your nose between your knees, stretching the back of the neck. And have a full body stretch. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs, then bring your knees back onto your chest. Point your toes. So we are activating our core muscles. Inhale, extend. Keep your arms and legs 1 inch from the floor. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. One more. Extend. Exhale. Bring it in towards your chest. And bring your hands underneath your knees. Rock backwards and forwards. And see if you can hang in there just for a little bit. And rock again. And hang in there. And that's it. And rocking and hanging. Rock and hang. And stay on your boat pose. Opening your chest, making sure that your back is 45 degrees from the floor. Your knees can be bent or you can have your legs outstretched. It's up to you. One more breath in here, filling your abs. And exhale. Release your feet onto the floor. Bring the hands onto the ground with your fingertips are pointing away from you. Bring your feet close towards your hips. Inhale, bring your chest up, bringing your hips up. Let your head drop back. Big inhale, big exhale. And release. Coming onto the floor, cross your legs, bring your hands underneath your knees. And bring your legs back into all fours. Or whichever version of it you're taking. As you inhale, open your chest, stick your tailbone up towards the sky. Exhale, chin to chest and arch up. Inhale, open. Exhale, arch. Inhale, open. And exhale, arch. Good. Bring yourselves back to center. Make sure that Your belly is engaged as you bring your right leg back and your left leg back. And then release and release. Go gently on the knees. Now start left leg, right leg. Left leg, right leg. Now right leg back, left leg back. Right, right, left. Now left, right, left, right. Good. Let's see if we can do some combinations. So right leg back, left leg. Left and right. Left leg back, right leg. Right and left. Right and left. Left and right. Left, right, right, left. Good. Well done. Just a bit of yoga for the brain. Now bring your forearms onto the floor. Forearms onto the floor. Push your forearms, opening your chest, and bring your legs back into plank. Keep your body stable. Breathing deeply. And then walk your feet towards your elbows, coming into Dolphin. Keep pushing your forearms onto the floor, your chest towards your thighs, feeling the backs of your legs. Breathe deeply, keep your lower abdomen in and up. And then bring your right leg up, bend your right knee, point your knee towards the sky, and release, change sides, left leg up, bend the knee, keep pushing the forearms onto the floor, and release. Lovely. Lift your head, stretch your arms out, and come into Anahathasana, puppy dog. Chin onto the floor, stretching the back, stretching the shoulders, armpits. Breathe. Inhale, lift your chest. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift yourselves into plank. And rock onto your toes. Rocking forwards, coming onto your wrist and coming back. Make sure that your hips are not dropping. Mala, lift your hips. Rocking forwards and back. And then knees onto the floor and release down towards the ground. Lovely. Bring your hands behind your buttocks. Your chin can rest onto the floor. Interlace your fingers. Legs firmly on the floor. Inhale. Engage your buttocks as you bring your chest up and your arms go towards your heels. Opening your shoulders and your chest. Exhale, release. Bring your hands a little bit wider than you would for a cobra pose. So your hands are at the same height as your chest, but a bit wider than your chest. Inhale, come up into cobra. Exhale, release. 2 more of those. See if you want to have your hands even further out or maybe a little bit closer in. I want us to do a wave here. Waving onto our hearts. That's it. A few more if it feels good. Last one. Release. Come into your child's pose. Stretching back. You can have your fingertips on the floor to stretch your arms and your shoulders. And now bring your hands behind your lower back. You can hold one wrist with the other hand. Just have a few breaths feeling this different version of child's pose. Then interlace your fingers, stretch your arms and bring your head onto the floor. And release down. Rolling from your forehead into the crown of the head. And back. One more time, rolling up. And back down. Bring your hands in front of you, look towards your hands. That's it. And tag your toes under, come up into your downward facing dog. Walk your dog, releasing your heels towards the floor, swaying your hips side to side. Open your feet the width of the mat and bend your knees, letting the sides of the body open up. And then walk your feet in the middle of the mat all the way towards the front of the mat. Release your upper body and sway. Grab hold of your elbows and sway your upper body side to side. Activate the back of the legs and release your elbows. Come all the way up into standing. Bring your arms around and up. Interlace your fingers and bring your hands behind your head. So resting your head onto your hands, and we're going to sway the upper body side to side. Maybe you want to go sideways, maybe you want to go twisting. Just opening that heart center without forcing your neck. And release. Lovely. Good. Shake your hands, shake your arms, and we're going to come to the front of the mat to start a little bit of a flow. So this flow, we're going to be focusing on arching the upper back, and we're going to use the Shapana Mudra. So Shapana Mudra is like this, when you have your fingers interlaced except for your index finger and your thumbs are crossing here. It's like a Charlie's Angels scan. And the Shapana Mudra is mudra for courage. So how can we cultivate this courage? Courage, the word that comes from heart, qua. Bring yourselves to the front of the mat with your feet either hip distance or together. Inhale, bring your arms around and up. And exhale, fall forwards. Inhale, hands onto your shins, flatten your back. Exhale, fingertips by the sides of your feet. Bring your right leg back. Lower the back knee onto the floor and release the foot. Bring the hands onto the knee, open the chest. If this is enough, you stay here. If you want a little bit more, bring your arms up. If you can, join your hands into Shapana Mudra. Breathe. And exhale. Release your hands by the sides of the foot. Tuck your toes under. Bring the left leg back into plank. Bring your knees onto the floor and lower down into Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, release down, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Breathe deeply. Inhale, right leg parallel to the floor. Bring it up parallel to the floor. The hip is still square. That's it. The head is between the arms. Feel the left heel going down towards the floor. Both legs are straight. Now look towards your hands. Lift yourselves onto the ball of the left foot And bring the right foot between your hands. Release your back knee. Bring the hands onto the knee, open the chest, and either stay here or maybe bring your arms up, or if you can, join your hands in Shapana Mudra. And exhale, release your hands by the sides of the foot. Tuck your back toes under, bring the back foot forwards, flat back. Exhale, fall forwards. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. So if your knee is giving you trouble here, you can keep it off the floor, keep it as a low lunge more than anything. Lovely. And we're going to do it again now on the other side. Feet together or hip distance. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, hands onto your shins, flatten your back. Exhale, fingertips by the sides of your feet. Bring your left leg back into a low lunge. Release the back knee, opening the chest. Release the back foot. Hands onto your knee or up into Shapana Mudra. Breathe. This is a strong stretch for your psoas. And release your hands by the sides of the foot. Lift the back knee. Bring the front leg back into plank. Knees onto the floor. Come forwards and lower down. Shoulders back and down. Cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Very good. Check that your head is not tensing. And bring your left leg up towards the sky. Not towards the sky, sorry. Parallel to the floor. Let your right heel go down towards the floor. Inhale, look towards your hands. Lift onto your back. Onto your right foot. Bring the left foot forwards. Leg onto the floor. Coming up. Take your choices. Either hands on the knees, arms up, or Shapana Mudra. Good. And release your hands. Lift the back knee. Bring the back foot forwards. Flat back. Exhale, fall forwards. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale. Release. So the heart chakra inserts in the middle of the chest and exits at the back of the chest. So whenever we're working with it, it's not just the front that is opening. This is why we're using lots of back bends. So let's do the same as we were doing before, interlacing your fingers. Now see if you can have your left index finger in front of your right. And open your heart and just sway side to side. How is this different from when you were stretching before? Bring your arms up and expand. And now release your fingertips. Bring your hands behind your back. Extend your hands and fold forwards. You can bend your knees to make it a bit softer. Release your arms and roll up vertebra by vertebra. Coming all the way up into standing. Good. If you have a block nearby, have it handy. You won't need it necessarily. It will be for triangle and half moon. If you know that you can do it without it, then you won't need to use it. Good. So we're going to open the feet the width of the mat, having the toes pointing away from us. Draw the shoulders back. Just check that there is no tension on your hips and your knees. Always trying to look for fluidity in our yoga flows. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, fold forwards. How is this forward fold different with your legs apart and your toes pointing away? Inhale, hands onto your shins, flatten your back. Exhale, hands inside your feet. And bring your right leg back. And we're in a lizard pose. That's it, very nice. Now rock backwards and forwards. I always like resting my left leg onto my left arm, or resting the leg onto the arm that is forwards, just to have a bit more freedom to relax the hip. Good. Now soften the knee onto the floor. Here, if there is pain on the knee, you can use a block to support your leg. So don't rest the knee on the floor, bring the block onto the thigh, and that can be your support. If there is an injury, it's better not to irritate it. And this will be your asana. This is how you will stay. The rest of us, if we can go a little bit lower, release the knee onto the floor and see if you can bring one arm or maybe both onto the ground. And breathe on your lizard pose. And inhale, lift your chest, tuck your back toes under, bring the leg up, and bring the left leg back into plank. Take a moment in plank. That's it, good. Now the right knee will come onto the floor, and we're going to open the leg out and come into your side plank. Maybe the leg comes up, maybe stays down. Breathe and open. And bring the hands onto the floor. Bring the leg back into plank. Lower into Chaturanga. Up Dog or Cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards your hands, and we're going to jump to the outside of the hands. So lift your heels, bend your knees, and froggy jump towards the front. Yes, that's it. And come into your Hindi squat. If this is not available, stay with your hips further up. That's it, good. Fingertips onto the floor, bring your hips up. Bring your hands onto your hips, engage your core, engage your back. Your head is aligned with your spine. Come all the way up into standing. All the way up. And release your hands. So this is quite important. When we are coming up quickly, we need to have the head aligned with the back. So if I was coming slowly, I could come rolling up. But because I say hands onto the hips and coming up quickly, then you need to make sure that your head, you see in here, my head is still rounded, my back is rounded. If I want to come up quickly, I engage my belly, I align my head with the spine, and then I come all the way up without risking the health of my neck. Yes? Let's see the thumbs. Thumbs up. Ah, that's it, good. All your thumbs were above my vision. Lovely. Feet mat distance apart. Yeah, we're going to do the other leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, flat back. Hands can be on the shins or onto the floor. This time the left leg comes back into a low lunge. It's not a low lunge, it's a lizard. That's it. Lizard pose. And rock back and forth. Just feel your lizard pose. And then settle into your lizard pose. You can release the back leg onto the floor. If you need to support the knee and have a block instead, you can do that. Otherwise, if you feel that you have the flexibility, you can have the block under your elbows as well. That's a good way of supplementing. Otherwise, come all the way down. Breathing into that deep hip stretch. Here you might need to bring the foot a little bit further forwards so that your knee is not in a narrow flexion. That's it. Good. One more breath. And bring your hands onto the floor. Tuck your toes under. Come up. And bring the left leg back into plank. Rock a little bit on your plank, feeling your weight onto your wrists. Bring your knees onto the floor, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come back into plank. And we're going to bring the left knee onto the floor and turn into your side plank. That's it. You can let the left shin come perpendicular to the length of the mat. And you can bring your right leg up or keep it on the floor. Wonderful. And bring yourselves back to center. Chaturanga Cobra Up Dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards your hands, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or jump to the outside of your hands and come into your Hindi squat. Yes, very good. Pushing the elbows against the knees, relaxing your lower back, breathe deeply. Now bring your hands onto the floor, hips come up, wide-legged Uttanasana. Bring your hands onto your hips, engage your lower abdomen and your pelvic floor. Align your head with your spine and then come all the way up into standing. Yeah, that's it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands towards your heart. Wonderful. Shake your arms and shake your legs. So we're going to do exactly the same sequence, but we're going to add 2 back bend heart openings. See what they're like. You might want to have a belt nearby. You might not need it. Or you might need to have a cushion on the floor or a blanket to rest the knee. So I might use the cushion. And so have everything that you need nearby and watch what we're going to do. So first we're going to go into our lizard pose. And we're going to have the hip forwards. Bend the back knee and reach and open up. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So watch how my foot, the front foot is tilting to the side. So it's on the outer edge of the foot. And I hold onto the back leg and open up. So I'm not staying forward, I'm opening up. Let me see if I show it on this side. And it can give you a cramp. So go gently, opening up, stretching the front of the thigh. And we're going to do 5 deep breaths in there. Then the other one is the side plank. We're going to catch the foot and open up this way. So That one is a bit easier on the chest, but have a cushion, have your knees protected if you need to. Right, I'm going to use the cushion. So using support is always good. If you can't reach the leg when we do the twist on pigeon, then you hook it with a belt, and then you bring it like this, or in whichever combination you might find it easier. I will give you time. We will have a few breaths, at least 5, maybe a little bit longer. So find the way that will be best for you. Okay, good. Feet mat distance apart. Hands by the sides of the body. Courage. We want courage. Inhale. Bring your arms around and up. Exhale. Bow towards the floor. Inhale. Hands onto your shins. Flatten your back. Exhale. Hands on the inside of your feet. And bring your right leg back into a low lunge. Release the right knee onto the floor. And you have to check it. Maybe for today, this is plenty. And then you just do that. If you feel that you can bend your knee, reach and open, then we're going to do that. And stay for 5 long deep breaths, starting now. And release, lift the back leg, sway it a little bit, the right leg if you need to. Now release it back onto the floor, keep the right hand in the middle, turn around for your side plank. If you're bringing the left leg up, bring it up. If you're holding it, hold the leg. 5 breaths from here. Inhale. Let go of the leg. Come into plank. Lower into Chaturanga. Rise into Cobra or Up Dog. Release down. Tap your toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards your hands. Lift your heels, bend your knees. And jump your feet to the outside of your hands. And come into your Hindi squat. Release the hands. Uttanasana, wide-legged Uttanasana. Hands onto your hips. Engage your belly, engage your pelvic floor. Head aligned with your spine. Come all the way up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lovely. The other side. Check that your support is well placed. Might need a bit more room between the wall and me. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, flatten your back. And as you exhale, the left leg comes back now. Hands are on the inside of your right foot. And release the left knee onto the floor. See what you feel like on this side. If this is enough, you stay there. If you want, you can reach towards the foot. Once you hold onto the foot, You open the chest. Yeah, that's it. So relax your hips forwards if you can. Open the chest. 3 more breaths. Release the back leg. Lift the knee and bring the right leg back into plank. Bring your left knee again onto the floor or the cushion and come sideways. Lift the right leg, and if you're doing this, bend the right knee, catch onto the foot and push onto the knee. This is like half bow pose. 5 deep breaths in here. And release. Hands onto the floor. Release into Chaturanga Cobra Up Dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards your hands, lift your heels, bend your knees, and step or jump to the outside of your feet into Hindi squat. Lovely. And bring your hands onto the floor, forward fold. Hands onto your hips. Engage your belly, engage your pelvic floor. Head is aligned with your spine. And come all the way up into standing. Bringing the arms around and up. Exhale. Hands towards your heart. Shake your hands and shake your legs. Shake it all around. Good. So now if you want to use a block or even a chair, we're going to come first into triangle pose and then into half moon pose. And if the half moon, if we're stable enough on the half moon, so I'll show you quickly. We're going to come into triangle. I'm going to be using my block because I like that push from the block up. Then half moon, trying to rise all the way, not at the end, but from the beginning. You build it up and rise it up. And if this feels comfortable, we can bend the standing leg a little bit, catch the foot, and then open up into our standing, holding the leg pose. I'm sure it has a name, but I cannot think of it. All right, so bring your feet about 2.5 times your hip distance. Lovely. And turn your right foot out, left foot in. And if you have a block, please use a block so that we have that push from the floor up. Bring the block to the inside of your right foot. Inhale, bring your arms parallel to the floor. Check that you have your Elvis hips on and that you can move those hips. Stretch towards the front leg. Look towards the block and bring the hand onto the block. From there, bring your left hand onto your chest and then help your chest to open up. So you caress your collarbones, opening up, and then bring your arm up. That's it. Front knee is as straight as it can be. The head is aligned with the spine. Make sure that the head is not dropping. And if you want, you can look down towards the floor for more grounding. Reach. Push the hand that is on the block and the hand that is above. Lovely. Utthita Trikonasana. Extended triangle pose. Now release your left hand onto your hip. The top hand, release it onto your hip. Bend the front knee and bring the block in front of the foot. Maybe you need a little bit more room, so you can move the front foot back. Transfer the weight onto the front foot. Extend standing leg. And if you fold, you start again. And lift, opening your hip, engaging from the foot, from the head. And bring the arm up. Half moon. Open your chest. Have the courage to feel stable. Standing on one leg, one hand. Yes. Now, bend the standing leg a little bit. Catch the foot. And maybe you can bring the knee out towards the sky. Maybe you can push the foot against your hand. No rush. And release. Rolling up into standing. Shake it, shake it. Whew. Let's try the other side. So the standing leg will always get quite a lot of tension. So make sure you shake it out. Shake it out. Shake it up. Let's try the other side. That's it. Look, you're doing the flossing, aren't you? Yes. Now bring the block just in front of left foot. So in front, not of the toes, but of the inside of the foot. Mala. That's it. Perfect. Inhale, arms parallel to the floor. Check that your hips are able to move. Flex from your front hip. Reach and bring the hand onto the block. And bring the top arm to caress your collarbones. And then bring it up. So your palm is always facing forwards, not backwards. And aligning it with the bottom arm is a good way to find that. Now, feel your feet pushing away from each other onto the floor. The hand that is on the block is also pushing up. And the arm that is up is reaching towards the sky. Everything is working in here. Both legs are straight. One more breath. And release the hand onto the hip. Look towards the front foot. Maybe bring the foot back a little bit and the block in front. And reaching up. Open the hip. Perhaps this is all that you want to do on this side. Maybe you want to bring the leg up. If you want to try the bind, bend the standing leg and bend the top leg. Hold onto the foot and then stretch up. No rush. Breathe deeply. And release the leg. Come all the way up into standing. Shake it, shake it. Lovely. Roll the shoulders back and roll the shoulders forwards. And for our heart chakra, we're going to do the Lotus Mudra. So bring the Lotus Mudra to your heart. Put your intention, that heartfelt desire, and then roll your Lotus Mudra. Roll it up. And change direction. Lovely. And shake your hands Good. So we're going to come down. Do you have 2 blocks? Yes? So we're going to do a supported fish pose. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can use 1 block and a cushion, or a rolled up blanket or towel and a cushion. So it will be more of a restorative type of heart opening, this one. We're going to stay for a little bit longer. And we're going to put one block vertical and the other one like a T, like this, on the floor. You can have both blocks on the higher setting, or one higher and one lower, or both lower, or maybe one lower and no block on the head, or a cushion under the head. And what we're going to be doing is supported fish pose. If the block is a little bit sharp, then you can put a blanket or something. So the vertical block will be between your shoulder blades, and the other one is to support your head. And you can take your time to find the position. Maybe the feet are together and the knees apart, maybe the legs are outstretched. If this is too low, then you lift. It's really nice. So that's the final position that you want to get. Maybe the head goes further down. Find the right position for you. And if you want, you can have support your head. Voila, yeah, that's it. Maybe you want to have a cushion, but a cushion might make it a bit too high. If this feels too much on your back, then just roll a little cushion in half, and you can use that to support your back, and you don't need any blocks under your head. Good. So, trying to keep your body as supported as it can be. We're going to stay here for 10 breaths from now. So make sure that the breaths are slow. Feel your diaphragm opening up. Feel your legs stretching, expanding. Shoulders releasing. Relax the jaw. 5 more slow, deep breaths. And when we've done the 10 breaths in total, bring your feet apart and your knees together. Still the head hasn't moved. We're reversing the Baddha Konasana. And we're going to bring both knees to one side, coming off the support into a recovery position. And you can take the block and put it under your head for a moment, just to rest on the recovery position. Breathing away the imprint of the block between your shoulder blades. And bring your hands into the floor, walk yourselves up. Take your blocks away, and we're going to go into Shavasana for a heart chakra visualization. One thing I like doing with the blocks is putting them underneath my thighs, and that way my lower back feels a lot more relaxed. And you can have your hands either onto your heart, one in your heart, one on your belly, both on your belly, wherever you feel best, or hands by the side. Whenever I put my hands onto my belly, I always find that I am a better witness to my breath. So I want to witness your breath for a little bit. Witness the ebb and flow of the breath. And breathe into that heart space. Into the courage to navigate this world that is always new, is always surprising us. And you don't need to modify your breath at all. Just let it flow gently. And if you feel connected with your breath, you can take the hands and let them rest to the side of the body. And just use your breath and use the prana, the energy of this breath, coming in and making a circle round your heart and coming out. So you're activating the chakra, the heart chakra, and chakra means a disc, and it's a disc that turns clockwise. And the color of the heart chakra is mostly green, but it has some pink in the middle. So maybe you can imagine your heart chakra as a beautiful lotus flower, the green leaves, the pink petals. And see these petals spinning up. And send that courage from your heart to anyone that may need it. And that someone can be yourself. And send with it the intention that there will be surrender. Surrender to fear, surrender to doubt, an opening of your heart. We are courageous yogis. And if you feel in the zone and you want to stay resting for a little bit longer, you can. You're doing this from home. That's a luxury that you keep. If you need to get on with your evening, you can make yourself up into sitting, making sure you have a nice stretch. I'm going to close with 3 Oms and Shantis. How to begin. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Rub your palms together. Make the movement a little faster. And place your hands onto your heart. Feel that energy penetrating. Bow your head to your heart. And bring your hands together, bow your heads to each other. Namaste. Well done. Well done.